The dusty trails of California in 1850 wound through the rugged hills, like veins of gold threading the earth, carrying dreamers and desperados alike to the promise of fortune. The air was thick with the scent of pine and sweat, the relentless sun beating down on wooden shanties and canvas tents that dotted the landscape of Rocky's a boomtown. Pulsing with the heartbeat of the gold rush, miners with pickaxes slung over shoulders trudged through the streets, their faces caked in dirt, eyes gleaming with the feverish hope of striking it rich. Saloons overflowed with raucous laughter and the clink of glasses, while the distant echo of dynamite blasts reminded everyone that wealth came at a price, often paid in blood or broken spirits. In the heart of this chaos stood the palace, a garish building with painted shutters and a sign that creaked in the wind, promising pleasures that masked deeper pains. It was here that the lottery unfolded each evening, a cruel game where men scribbled their names on scraps of paper, tossing them into a hat for the chance to win a night with Angel. She was the jewel of the town, her beauty legendary, whispered about in camps and claims alike. Men would sacrifice their last nugget of gold for her, considering themselves blessed if fate smiled upon them. But for Angel, it was a cage of silk and sorrow, her life a series of transactions that left her soul hollow. Angel gazed out from her upstairs window, the golden light of dusk casting long shadows across her flawless features. Her hair fell in cascades of auburn waves, framing eyes that held the storm of 1,000 unspoken torments, blue as the Pacific, deep as the mines that scarred the land. She felt the weight of her existence like chains, invisible but unyielding, as the crowd below buzzed with anticipation. The lottery winner would ascend the stairs, his boots thumping on the worn wood, believing he had won paradise. But Angel knew better. Paradise was a myth, and she was its fallen guardian. Her mind drifted to the past, to days when happiness was not a commodity but a simple truth. She remembered her mother, May, with her gentle hands and soft voice, the way she would sing lullabies in the cozy cottage by the sea. The air then smelled of salt and fresh bread, not the stale perfume and cigar smoke that choked her now. May had loved her fiercely, calling her Sarah, a name long buried under layers of reinvention. But then came Alex, the father who was no father at all. The door had burst open one day, bringing a gust of cold wind and the tall figure of Alex Stafford. His coat was fine wool, his boots polished to a shine, but his eyes were ice. Sarah, small and curious, had hidden behind her mother's skirts, peeking out with wide eyes. "Send the child out," Alex commanded, his voice sharp as a blade. May hesitated, her hand tightening on Sarah's shoulder, but complied, ushering her to the adjoining room. The walls were thin, the words seeping through like poison. "You live in my house," Alex said coldly, "but I've never married you. Nor will I. I told you from the start I didn't want this child. She's illegitimate, a mistake." The word mistake echoed in Sarah's mind, a dagger to her young heart. She slid to the floor, tears streaming down her cheeks, the wooden planks cold against her skin. When May returned, her face pale as a ghost, she pulled Sarah into her arms. "It's not your fault, my darling," May whispered, her voice breaking, her embrace warm and fierce. "I love you more than anything in this world. You're my light." But love couldn't hold back the tide of misfortune. A letter arrived soon after, Alex's seal mocking them with its elegance. May read it aloud, her hands trembling. He had cut all ties, sold the house, and washed his hands of them. The world outside was a blur of gray skies and pounding rain as they packed their meager belongings. The creak of the cartwheels a dirge for their lost life. Desperation led May to a jeweler's shop, the bell tinkling like a false promise as they entered. John the jeweler was a man with a sly smile and eyes that lingered too long. May laid out her jewelry, treasures from better days. But John's examination was quick and cruel. "Fake," he declared, tossing them aside. "Worthless." May's shoulders slumped, defeat etching lines on her face. But John's gaze shifted, predatory. "You, however, are precious," he said, his voice oily. "Work for me and you'll have money, a place to stay." The implication hung heavy, a noose tightening. May glanced at Sarah, tears glistening, and nodded. That night, the back room became a place of shadows, sounds that haunted Sarah's dreams. Weeks turned to months, May's spirit fading, her body racked by illness. Sarah nursed her with childish devotion, fetching water from the well, the bucket heavy in her small hands, praying to a God who seemed deaf. One night, as thunder rumbled like judgment, May's hand went limp in hers. The grief was a storm, Sarah's sobs echoing in the empty room. The world forever darkened. Now, in the palace, Angel shook off the memories. Her reflection in the mirror a mask of indifference. The lottery winner approached, his breath reeking of whiskey. But she performed her role, body mechanical, mind distant. The town revered her, but she was a prisoner. Her beauty a curse that drew them like flies to honey. Meanwhile, on the outskirts, Michael Hosea tilled his fields under the wide blue sky, the earth rich and yielding under his hands. He was a man of faith, tall and broad-shouldered, with dark hair curling under his hat and eyes that held the quiet strength of the land. The farm was his sanctuary, the scent of hay and soil a balm, the lowing of cattle a familiar song. Each day, he knelt in the small chapel he had built, the wood smooth from years of prayer. "Lord," he murmured, his voice earnest, the candle flame flickering shadows on the walls, "send me a partner, someone to share this life, to love truly and forever." That evening, business took him to Rocky's, the wagon laden with produce crisp vegetables, fragrant fruits, the bounty of his labor. The town was a whirlwind of noise and motion. But then he saw her, Angel, stepping out for a rare moment of air, her dress swaying like a whisper. Time stopped, the clamor fading to a hum. Her beauty struck him like a revelation, a certainty blooming in his chest. "Who is she?" he asked a friend, the words barely above a whisper. The friend chuckled, clapping him on the back. "Angel, the most beautiful and expensive girl in town. Lives in the palace. Men line up for a lottery just to spend a night with her." Michael's heart twisted, a mix of sorrow and resolve. He saw beyond the allure, to the pain in her eyes, a soul crying for salvation. That night, as the palace thrummed with life, Angel's shift ended. The room was opulent velvet curtains, a bed like a throne, but it felt like a tomb. She counted her gold, the coins cold in her palm. The door slammed open, Magawan the bodyguard entering, his bulk filling the space, his face scarred and mean. "This all?" he snarled, snatching the pouch. "That's everything," she said, her voice steady. But he grabbed her arm, fingers digging like claws. Liar. He dragged her to the bathroom, the tub filled with water, and plunged her head under. Bubbles exploded, her lungs burning, limbs thrashing in panic. The world narrowed to the roar in her ears, darkness closing in. "Enough!" The Duchess's voice cut sharp. She entered, her gown rustling, her face a mask of authority. "If she gets a scratch, those fools outside will riot. Control yourself. Get her ready for the next one." Magawan released her, Angel gasping, water dripping like tears. She dressed again, the silk clinging, and waited. The door opened to Michael, his presence different, clean, earnest. "How can I make you happy?" she asked, the words automatic. "I didn't come for that." he replied, his voice gentle, eyes meeting hers without lust. I just want to talk. I'm not like the others. I'm a farmer. I work my land. Then the proposal. Marry me. Laughter escaped her, bitter and sharp. This is the 5th proposal this week. Men come, talk sweet, think they can own me. His time ended, may go on escorting him out. But Michael returned the next day paying double, his words fervent. I fell in love at first sight. Come with me. We'll marry, build a life. She shook her head. Wasting your money. Take what you came for and go. I can't be yours forever. Again rejected. His friend warned him in the tavern, the air thick with smoke. She's not for you. I have to try once more. The 3rd visit, Michael's tone pleading. Why choose this hell? Don't you feel anything? Is your heart empty? He kissed her, tender, searching. She pulled away. I don't love you. You're just a farmer. Heartbroken, he left. Memories flooded Angel the jeweler John taking her after May's death, selling her to Duke, who killed John, forcing her into the life. Years of abuse, her father's suicide upon discovering her. Sally's help in death, the betrayal on the ship. Duchess's salvation turning to exploitation. Her health faltered, thoughts of Michael weakening her. I've grown weak from thinking about him, she confessed to a friend. She demanded her savings from Duchess. Give me my money. Duchess sneered. What will you do out there? I give you everything. The argument escalated, Duchess summoning Magowan. Teach her a lesson. Blows rained, pain exploding, darkness claiming her. Michael woke from a dream, racing to the palace, finding her broken. I'm taking her, he declared to Duchess. She owes me. He paid triple, knelt, offered the ring. Marry me? Yes, she whispered. At the farm, healing was slow, the air fresh with wild flowers. You spent so much, she said. Getting you out mattered. She returned the ring. I'll repay and leave. No slavery in marriage. Marriage isn't slavery. He gave her his sister's clothes. Paul is away. She collapsed. He nursed her 3 weeks. One night, she beckoned. Repay my debt. No, not until you love me. She helped on the farm gathering eggs, fishing, the river's song soothing. A sunrise on the hilltop, colors bursting. A life as vibrant as this. If you knew my past, choose now. They kissed, intimacy following, tender and deep. Paul returned, recognized her, confronted. Michael deserves better. He accepted me. Paul told Michael, earning a punch. Accept her as sister. Paul apologized, suggested city life. Michael dreamed of children. Angel's secret, the forced abortion, tormented her. They met Elizabeth's family, hosted them. Miriam befriended Angel. The birth brought joy. Angel saw Michael and Miriam's potential. Family bought land. Angel confessed infertility. I love you regardless, Michael said. Sunset intimacy. Angel left, letter to Miriam. You and Michael belong together. Michael let her go. In the city, Angel cooked at a hotel, the kitchen's heat a new rhythm. The fire destroyed it. Duke appeared. Come with me. You burned it? Yes, or the owner dies. Reluctantly, Angel agreed to go with Duke to protect the hotel owner. The carriage rattled away from the smoldering ruins. The smoke lingering in her nostrils like a bad omen. Duke's smile a razor in the dim light. You've been away too long. My dear, he said, his voice smooth as venom. His hand resting possessively on her knee. Angel stared out the window, the city lights blurring into streaks of regret. Her mind screaming for escape, but her body trapped once more. The mansion Duke brought her to was grand. Marble floors echoing their footsteps. Chandeliers glittering like false stars, but it was a prison. The air heavy with the scent of roses masking decay. Duke forced her back into the life, parading her on a stage in his new establishment. The crowd's eyes hungry, the spotlight hot on her skin. "Smile, Angel," he hissed backstage, his breath hot on her ear. "You're the star?" But inside, the spark Michael had ignited flickered memories of the farm. The sunrise, the freedom. Duke's dark secret revealed itself. Young girls, terrified, locked away, their cries muffled. Angel's heart broke anew, the weight of her own past crashing down. Meanwhile, Michael labored on the farm. The fields a canvas of his loneliness. The wind whispering her name. Paul, now married to Miriam, visited, the cabin filled with the aroma of stew. "She's gone, brother," Paul said, his voice soft with remorse for his past judgments. "But God's not done with you." Michael's faith wavered, his prayers fervent in the chapel. The candle's flame a symbol of hope. "Show me the way, Lord." Angel, in a moment of desperation on the stage, the audience leering, found her voice. "This man, Duke, traffics in little girls," she declared, her voice trembling but strong, the room falling silent. Chaos erupted. Duke's denial, the mob's rage. An old friend of Michael's, a burly African-American man with kind eyes, subdued Duke, the crowd surging like a wave. Duke was lynched, his body swinging in the night, justice swift and brutal. The girls fled into the arms of the outraged patrons, freedom a frantic escape. Angel, shaken but free, started a mission for young prostitutes, the building a haven of warm lights and soft beds, the air scented with fresh bread and hope. She taught them skills, shared stories, her own scars a testament to survival. 3 years passed, the seasons turning like pages in a book. Paul found her one day, the mission buzzing with life. "Michael still loves you," he said, tears in his eyes. "He never married Miriam. She married me." Angel, now stronger, her heart healed by faith, confessed, "I left because I can't have children. He deserves a family." Paul smiled. "Love doesn't work that way." She returned to the farm, the road familiar, the air crisp with autumn leaves crunching underfoot. Michael was in the fields, his figure silhouetted against the setting sun. He turned, his eyes widening, hope dawning like the morning they had shared. "Sarah," she said, revealing her true name, her voice breaking. "My name is Sarah." He pulled her into his arms, the ring slipping back on her finger. Their kiss a promise sealed. Years later, the farm thrived. Laughter echoing as their son played in the grass. Another child on the way, a miracle defying the past. The sun set in a blaze of colors. Their love redeemed, eternal. A testament to grace in a broken world.